Have you ever thought that an old, working spark plug could turn into something completely different? Today, I'll show you how to build a unique welding machine, starting from something you'd normally throw away. Just a bit of creativity and basic knowledge of electricity. Now I'm going to quickly clean up the spark plug. If you just want to get to the main part, feel free to skip ahead a bit. Spraying a bit of multi-purpose oil before wiping it with a cloth makes it much more effective. After cleaning, the threaded part of the spark plug is much cleaner. Now we'll secure in the drill chuck to grind down the tip of the threads, making it easier for the next connection step. Grind it for a bit, then stop to check if it's good. Don't get carried away and overdo it. In my hand, here's a live prong from an electrical plug. I'm going to strip it down and use one prong as a welding tip. You might be hearing this for the first time, but don't jump to conclusions. In a moment, you'll see exactly how I turn this small part into a usable tip. If you see me using a new plug and think it's wasteful, think broader. Using an old electrical plug wouldn't be a problem at all. In this step, I'll remove all the screws so it's easy to mount in the grinder, then sharpen the prong. This way, welding will be much easier. You don't need to sharpen it to a point just like this is enough. Alright, now we're going to attach this welding tip made from the plug prong onto the threaded end of the spark plug. Here, I've got almost everything ready. All that's left is the power source. The red wire represents the positive side and will connect to the positive terminal. I'll attach one end to the welding tip and the other end to a crocodile clip. The white wire, with both ends on the other clip, will connect to the negative terminal of the power source. Always remember, use electrical tape on connections to prevent exposed wires and keep the wires from coming loose. A small 12V battery is perfectly suitable as a power source for this homemade welding device. I'd say this spark is pretty solid, much stronger than using a battery core as a welding tip in my previous video. I'm confident that with the 2 small tests coming up, everything works. Enjoy the results and watch all the way through to decide if you want to try it yourself. How do you rate this device? For me, it's pretty solid. While we can't expect it to perform like modern equipment, I'm genuinely curious about your thoughts. So drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe if you find this topic interesting.